There are plenty of reports linking Arsenal with a move for Piero Hincapié and hijacking Tottenham's approach for the Bayer Leverkusen defender. Mikel Arteta wouldn't bite, though.
Hincapie. His name's been linked with you before the window closes. Bayer Leverkusen. Again, the fact that he's versatile is the kind of player you like?
You know the answer to that. I cannot talk about players that are not part of our squad.
Well, we're going to come back to Arsenal in just a moment, but a bit of breaking news to bring you here on the Transfer Show. And it is someone we have mentioned earlier on in the show, the Manchester United forward, Antony. We're told now in the past few minutes that Manchester United have now accepted a bid from Real Betis for Antony. It's a permanent transfer. They've given Antony permission to travel. It is now up to both parties, Real Betis and Antony, to agree on personal terms. So Manchester United have accepted a bid from Real Betis for the permanent transfer of Antony. More on that as we get it here on Sky Sports News. OK, let's head back now to Arsenal. James, we saw Mikel Arteta there. He's not giving much away with regard to Hincapie, but I think you can. How close are we?
Well, they're still pushing to get this deal done. This really would be the icing on the cake for Arsenal. It's been a brilliant transfer window. If they can sign Hincapie, then it really marks pretty much a 10 out of 10 window for the club, you'd have to say. Some progress is being made, but there is work to be done. The clubs remain in talks over a loan with an obligation to buy. We've been speaking about there being a release clause in Hincapie's contract of around £52 million. That's a figure that Arsenal are negotiating because whilst they could go and pay the £52 million and get the job done, that's probably not what they're in a position to do right now because they do need to make sales to be in a position to go and spend that money right away. So that's why they're negotiating rather than paying up this release clause. The player himself, he wants to go to Arsenal. Personal terms, we don't think they're going to be a problem in this deal. And this move for Hincapie could accelerate Jakub Kiwior's move to Porto, a loan with an obligation to buy worth around £26 million. That's in place. They bought him in 2023 for £20 million. He's given them good service, but I think Arsenal feel they can once again get better players in these positions. They're in a real position of strength right now. They're going to get even better if Hincapie comes in and Kiwior departs for Porto. Yeah, he could be their 8th summer signing if that deal was to materialise. A couple of other potential departures at Arsenal. Alexander Zinchenko, Marseille are interested. He's into the final year of his contract. And Fabio Vieira. We mentioned earlier on in this transfer window that Stuttgart were in talks. Well, they remain in talks. He's got 2 years left on his contract. So definitely a few to watch there. Ins at Arsenal and possibly outs as well. Let's go to Crystal Palace now and the saga that is there.
But the big question is Ebere Eze gonna start? Are we gonna see him for the very first time step on a football pitch in that Arsenal shirt playing for Arsenal? And is it going to be at Anfield? I hope so.
I don't think he starts, but I think he should.
I agree with... I actually, to be honest, I think he's going to start. I think if Martin Odegaard is confirmed injured, which I think he is for this game, I think he slots in that number 10 at Anfield.
I think he plays Marino and Madueke.
So boring.
I know,
but... You know, in a funny way, I think his best position is going to be playing where Odegaard plays.
In that 10,
and I actually would be saying... And it's not like he's not match fit.
Yep.
He's played all... He's had a good pre-season. You know, if the rumours we believe to be true that Alexander Isak is going to join Liverpool, I can see how and where
you might need a few games.
Yeah. But I think Eze is ready to go straight in.
Yeah,
I suppose the other thing for Arsenal...
Play number 10
he played pre-season, he played in the Community Shield, and he played first. He's fit.
The other thing for Arsenal is Saka might not be in either. And I think they need that extra creativity. Yeah. He's very different to Marino.
I don't think you can play with no Saka and no Odegaard and not have Eze.
I think, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know, but I just think Arteta will go steady first.
He will
try not lose at Anfield.
He must probably will at Anfield.
I think it's because it's like, don't lose. If you can't go to Anfield and just don't lose the game, you could draw, but don't lose it.
Is a draw a good result for both teams?
It's a good result for Arsenal. Yeah.
It's a better result for Arsenal, but is it a bad result for Liverpool?
No way.
It's not bad. Yeah. It depends how the game goes.
It's a heavyweight clash. That's how I look at it. A heavyweight clash.
Yeah, I suppose.
If you stay up, right, it's a good day.
Really interested in going into the game that Liverpool have looked bad defensively. Arsenal have been impeccable. Liverpool already conceded 4 goals. It must probably be 0-0, won't it?
Yeah, I know, it's one of them games. It's got it written. All the anticipation, 0-0.
But it is one of the highest scoring Premier League games over the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, which I find really hard to believe.
No, I don't, because it's years of Liverpool spanking Arsenal.
I know, but I just think of both teams recently. I feel like, and maybe I'm just getting like the fixtures mixed up, but it doesn't ever feel like it's been a high-scoring game. But maybe it's 2-2, and it's like, yeah. So if my maths is correct, that's 8 goals in 2 games.
Yeah, it is.
But I just, for some reason, I think this game on Sunday is going to be defensive. I think it's going to be about the defences because, I mean, Kirkes is probably quite happy that Saka's not playing after Kirkes' performances at the back since he's joined.
Yeah, that's
He's looked a little bit.
I think.
But coming up against Madueke, he might be all right.
Semenyo for Kirkes, bearing in mind they were teammates, I looked at that game and I saw Semenyo looking at Kirkes going, I have you all the time. I did it every day in training.
Every day.
Whereas I think now that he's got over that, he looked like he was keen and eager to impress. Other than his mistake for the goal against Newcastle the other day, he didn't play too badly.
No, I think just defensively, he's just looked a little bit nervous, and I think maybe we didn't notice it as much at Bournemouth, but I think when you play in a better team, you're probably going to notice it a little bit more. But I think, he's probably just come up against Madueke and he'll probably back himself in that.
Do you know who doesn't look nervous? Van Dijk looks incredible.
Oh, he's brilliant.
But that's because, do you know what Konate looks like next to him? Do you know what I mean?
Van Dijk
Thank God Van Dijk's nervous, not nervous, because if he was, you'd have conceded about 10.
OK, right, let's get you to Ezra's new team then, Arsenal. They'll travel to Liverpool on Sunday, live on Sky Sports. Mikel Arteta has been speaking to the media. We can hear from him right now.
Hello, Mikel.
Hi, Gary.
Bukayo?
Yeah, Bukayo is doing better, but he will be out for a few weeks, unfortunately.
What is it? Is it his hamstring?
Yeah.
No surgery required?
No surgery. It's not as bad as the previous one. Obviously, very unfortunate to pick it up. It's in the other side. It's an action that requires full power from him. Then he clashes with the opponent. He needs to change pace again, and he felt something. So he will be out for a couple of weeks.
So do you hope, and I know you don't know because you're not a doctor, but do you hope that when you resume club football, he might be available?
I don't know. Let's see how he evolves in the next few days, few weeks, repeat the scan and see where he's at.
And with Martin, he's obviously been selected for his national squad. What's the situation with him?
We don't know yet. He hasn't trained yet. And if he does, it will be tomorrow. And let's see. He's doing everything he can. We're doing everything that we can to make him available, but we'll have to wait and see tomorrow.
So that's definitely not serious, Martin's injury?
No, well, there is an injury there, but hopefully if everything goes well, he can cope with it, but we don't know yet.
So with Kai Havertz, we know he's had surgery. Is that weeks rather than months before he's recovered?
I think it will be weeks, but I don't know how many months. Very unfortunate, very sad for him. I think he did tremendously well to recover from the previous one. He's never had an injury before. And suddenly this happens. But this is our profession, part of football. We need to live with that. Obviously, we lose another big player for many, many weeks. But it was the right thing to do, and the doctor's advice. And I think he was very, very convinced at the end that it was the quickest and the best way to resolve that issue.
You did mention the word months there, so it could be months.
Yeah, every time there is a surgery, you expect something like this. So I leave that for the medical staff or himself to explain in detail what it was. But hopefully the most important thing is when he gets back, he's in good condition, and medium and long term, we protect as well the player.
How disappointing is that? 3 big names, three big important names for you.
He just started the season and we lost 3 of our main players. But that's the reality, and very unfortunate situation, 3 very different situations, but that's why we keep insisting, like everybody else, you need a big squad to be able to cope and sustain the level.
And if that's not enough, Ben and Christian, I guess, are still doubts, are they?
So that's another 2 that we don't know yet. Again, tomorrow we have another day. Let's see how they evolve, and there is a chance to keep them involved in the game.
On the brighter side, Ebzeza has had a great week's training, fitted in really well. Tell us about his first week here.
Yeah, really impressed with him. I heard a lot of things about him. I spoke to a lot of people about him. Really bright, very special energy, a special aura. around him, and yeah, really willing. He's already gathering a lot of information, the things that we want to see on that pitch, but especially make sure that he has the freedom and the capacity to express his quality, which is the reason why we brought him here.
Even more so than you'd heard in terms of his character, his personality, a great guy?
Yes, very impressed with that, yeah.
So straight in then, given the situation with Martin potentially as a number 10 at Anfield.
We have options in that position, and that's a good thing that we have this year. So let's see. As I said, another day, and I'm not going to give you any clues, obviously.
But the fact that he adds to your ability to be unpredictable, that's one of the reasons you wanted him here, I guess.
Sure, and we have a lot of players now. They can play in different positions and they can fulfill gaps when we have them. And looking at the start of the season that we already had with injuries, that's going to be very necessary. So very happy to have the ability to do that.
Hincapie. His name's been linked with you before the window closes. Bayer Leverkusen. Again, the fact that he's versatile is the kind of player you like.
You know the answer to that. I cannot talk about players that are not part of our squad.
But let's ask you a supercomputer question before I finish.
Okay, sure.
The supercomputer tells me that it's the first time in 8 years that the top two teams the season before have faced each other so early in the season. It's the earliest for 8 years. Is that a shame? Should it have been later in the season? Would you prefer it later in the season?
It's what it is. We have to play them. They are the champions. They are a champion for a reason, because they deserve to be champion. They were the better team last year, the most consistent one, the one that find ways to win in many different ways. And we want to be that team this year. And we need to go to Anfield with that spirit and that conviction.
Porto have agreed a deal to sign Arsenal defender Jakub Kiwior, subject to the Premier League club completing their move for Bayer Leverkusen's Piero Hincapié. Porto's deal for Kiwior is worth a guaranteed €25 million, rising to potential €27 million, and personal terms are in place. The Poland international made 30 appearances in all competitions for Arsenal last season, becoming a regular starter in the centre of defence after Gabriel was ruled out for the remainder of the campaign in April following hamstring surgery. The move is dependent on Arsenal landing Hincapie, with the club continuing to work on a deal to sign the centre-half from Leverkusen before the September 1st transfer deadline. Kiwior was not part of Arsenal head coach Mikel Arteta's squad for the opening Premier League game of the new season, away at Manchester United on August 17th, before being an unused substitute for the win over Leeds United on Saturday. Deployed at both centre-back and left-back, the 25-year-old has played 68 games in total for Arsenal, scoring 3 goals and providing 5 assists. An exit for Kiwior would pave the way for Hincapie's arrival and help towards balancing Arsenal's books after a busy summer, which has seen Kepa Arrizabalaga, Christian Mosquera, Martin Zubimendi, Christian Norgard, Noni Madueke and Victor Gyökeres all arrive at the Emirates Stadium. Kiwior would be Porto's 9th signing this summer and the 4th incoming for their back line, after they lost right-back João Mario to Juventus and centre-back Otavio to Paris FC. The Athletic reported on August 8 that their striker Samu Agahawa was being considered by Newcastle United, but a deal has not developed since then. He spent time in the youth system of Belgian club Anderlecht before moving to Slovak club Železničar Podbrezova, where he made his senior debut in 2018. He stayed in Slovakia with a move to MSK Žilina the following year before joining then Serie A club Spezia in 2021. Kiwior made 43 appearances for the Italian club before signing for Arsenal in a deal worth in excess of €20 million. He has been a staple of the Polish national team since making his debut in June 2022, having earned 35 caps, scoring twice. He represents